Hi there. Welcome to the test kitchen. Good to have you all here. This is the Zoom test kitchen. We gather every Friday to beat on Zoom, to discover new things, to ask important life-changing questions. And we have some, hopefully some good questions today. I know Tony has a question. We wanted to play a little bit with notes, I believe. And I know Mike is in here with vMix. I'm eager to hear if that's working at all. And Frank and Lois and Ray. And we're here to have a little bit of fun. A little bit of fun. So how are you all doing? Hello, hello, hello. Say hello, everybody.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Everybody. Have you had an okay week, I hope?
Yeah.
Yeah?
So
it's been very slow in Zoom world the past since Zoomtopia. It's like they all went on vacation or something.
They're recovering.
We haven't had any updates or anything.
There's a lot of stuff coming next week.
Although, well, wait a second. Now that I said that, I just got an email from Zoom that I earned a new badge.
Whoa.
Me too. Me too.
Oh, you got it too? You got it too?
Yep. I am now officially badged by Zoomtopia 2023.
That's right. We got our Zoomtopia 2023. Let me pull it up here so you can see. We got our Zoomtopia 2023 badges. You just earned a new badge. And then if I see it on my profile, now Frank will have a lot more badges than I do. Wait, where the heck's, oh, here they are, view all badges. But this is the new one that we got right here, Zoomtopia 2023. So
what's a badge do?
I have no idea. Frank, what does a badge do?
Are you familiar with gamification? Gamification is when you try to get people to engage and participate by making something like a game. So badges are little awards you get for milestones, how many posts you've had, how many people have liked your posts, how many solutions you've offered, things of that nature, how long you've been in the community. So that's gamification. It's a way to keep you engaged.
But here's the here's how gamification works. So I got my little badge and I went to this thing and I started looking, because I'd honestly never been here before. And I looked at the badges. And I noticed that underneath each badge, it says how many people have earned that badge. So for example, the welcome badge, 293,000 people have earned that. Okay, that doesn't make me feel very special. The profile completion badge, 73 people have earned that. The community champion kudos, which literally just means that I clicked on a button somewhere, well, has only been earned by 25 people, and I'm one of them. So I feel special, and I've won the game. I'm pretty sure if this is gamified, I just won. But Frank,
well, kudos on the kudos.
Kudos on the kudos. Frank, you've got to have a badge that says top number of, I don't know, Zoom posts or something, right?
I've got 34 or 36, but Ray Harwood, who comes around here, he's the master. He's got 47.
47. I have 13. I'm not feeling like I've won anymore. You just ripped that out of my grasp.
You got to play harder. Play harder.
Yeah, I do have to play harder. You're absolutely right.
It's like in the Scouts. You're going to have to be an Eagle Scout before you can get all that other stuff.
Yeah, I'm still a Boy Scout.
And let me remind you what Groucho Marx said about exclusive clubs.
You wouldn't want to be a part of anyone that would have you?
Right.
Well, I'd like to be a part of it. That's okay.
We're honored.
I have a question. Does anyone else, looking at this gallery, see mouths moving before you hear the sound, or is it just me?
Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers.
Yeah, Ray's out for me.
And
am I out for me? I'm out for me too.
Yeah.
That might change while we're here. The server might be.
You could find somebody with
lagging
a badge.
A little bit.
Somebody with a badge could help us.
Yeah, well,
do you think
if only we knew more than 13 badges.
Do you think it's a Zoom thing, or do you think it's that folks are using workarounds, loopbacks, redirecting?
Not when there's this many people out of sync.
Okay. Am I out of sync for you guys?
You were not for me, but you have been pixelating a little bit for me, Lois.
Well, pixelating, I'm a pixie, who knows?
You're very out of sync for me. No, you are. It's not a joke. You
Okay.
are, but
Okay.
we all have a peer-to-peer connection with the Zoom server, not with each other.
Yep.
So we're all going to have a different situation, but maybe Zoom's under a big load right now, or maybe they're doing maintenance on a bunch of servers, or maybe AWS is having issues. Who knows?
I do know that there was an outage overnight on the AI companion add-on.
Your
There's an
level's a little
incident.
low, Mike. Your level's a little low.
Okay, I'll fix that. But yeah, so I'll go a little louder here and say that AI companion was down a little bit last night.
Remember Saturday Night Live, Garrett Morris, when he used to do for the hard of hearing, and he would just yell louder. They put him in the circle wipe, but he would just yell louder. He didn't do sign language. No, I don't know.
Does the introduction of the AI, I know that the AI summary is on in this meeting, does that affect anything about the meeting, Frank? Does it slow it down?
No. The meeting will ebb and flow as the Zoom servers dictate. So maybe in 3 minutes everything will snap in. Who knows? But no, I mean, the AI is pretty trivial. I don't think it's a lot of bandwidth for Zoom for their
I
servers.
hear it sucks up good ideas.
I'm sure it does.
Well, let's throw out a good idea and see if it gets sucked up.
Tony's got one.
Lois is supposed to ask somebody to bring cookies.
Yeah, maybe we're
The
being
next
punished because you didn't bring the cookies.
I promised Tony we would get to his question because he was flummoxed. And why don't we jump in with Tony?
Tony, we're jumping in with you, but can I just say that, Frank, you are not off the hook because you said before that they're dropping a lot of stuff next week. You're going to have to spill some beans on that later. Oh, yeah.
NDA.
Next week.
I can't say
NDA.
anything.
Okay. All right. But
And
some
don't forget
exciting
to-
stuff is coming.
Just say hi to Dan, since we're all here. Hi, Dan.
Well, hi, Dan. Good to see you.
usually
All
just
right.
see
Hello,
Dan's
Dan.
chair.
Tony, the floor is yours.
Well, I'm not sure why the floor is mine, actually.
You wanted
Because
to know
two
about
people
notes.
told me that you have a question and that I have to let you ask it.
So you better think of a question real fast.
Wait, hold on. Ray, now you've put him on the spot. What's going on here?
I thought that Tony had a question about notes early in the week, and I suggested that he come to the test kitchen and ask it. Wrong, Tony.
You know
It's
what?
Wrong time.
Had you just made a note of your notes question, you would have remembered it.
I should have done that and shared it with everybody. I apologize, Tony, for putting you on the spot.
That's okay, Ray. What I will say is it's good to be here. It's good to, hang out with you guys. Many of you know that I've been sort of under the weather over the last 3 months, but I am back and
He's back,
finished
baby.
all of the work that I had to do at home. That ended yesterday, so I'll be doing some outpatient stuff going forward, and I'm looking forward to that. So
Good.
We're glad you're back, my friend. Good to have you. Good to have you. Absolutely. How do we do this louder, Frank? Like instead of just do it louder. Yeah. Tamara, hello. Dan, how are you?
All good.
Good.
Hopefully
Thank
I'm
God.
still seen and heard.
Yeah. So I was in, I'll just throw something out. So I happened to I went to sorry, not Hangouts. What's the thing where it's persistent? I just lost the name. The Zoom persistent thing that it's always there. What's it called?
Team
Wait.
chat?
No,
I don't know
God,
what
what is wrong with you people? Hold on a second.
after hours.
Huddles,
that's it.
huddles. I went to the huddle office hours that they had on Wednesday, and we were talking a little bit. And she actually asked us a number of questions about things like how do you not how do you create huddles, but what would you like the workflow to be to invite people to huddles, or to to create huddles together. And then we also talked quite a bit about docs and a little bit about notes also, and how there was a gentleman there who uses, and Frank, you'll have to tell me, because I don't know if this is actually a real thing, but signage, digital. Is there like a Zoom digital signage product?
Yeah.
Okay.
Zoom has a workspace reservation system and hot desking, and part of that is signage too.
It is. Okay. So we were talking about the usage of docs and or sheets and or presentations for digital signage, and that once Zoom builds out this office workflow, and it really is able to get its tentacles, I said it correctly this time, get its tentacles into every other aspect that it has, into meetings, into huddles, into signage, into all those different things, that it is, again, that's where that real power, I think, lies. And the only last thing I'll share is we talked a little bit about Zoom Docs versus Google Docs. And she said something that was sort of interesting, and this goes a little bit to why Notion may want to keep an eye on what Zoom is doing, because she said that Google Docs, and for that matter, Word and other tools like those, were all created in a time when documents were meant to be printed. So that's why you have pagination, and you have, now they have all introduced pageless formats and ways of viewing it in pageless, but nonetheless, they are still fundamentally created for the sake of printing. And she said, she was indicating that Zoom is really thinking about it very differently, that Zoom Docs and all these tools are not necessarily, they need to be able to be printed, but that doesn't need to be their primary purpose, that they can live really in just digital space. And because they live in digital space, that opens up the new and exciting ways that we're able to interact with and use them. The reason I mentioned Notion is only because Notion is very much like that. Notion is not at all about printing. There's not really pages. It's just forever, and it's very drag and drop. It's almost like building a website. And she said that's in part perhaps the way Docs is going, which I thought was really fascinating. I am the only one who thought it was fascinating.
We tried notes,
but,
and had a lot of trouble with it because it's so it's different for everybody, and therefore it became a little asynchronous. So
how do you mean different? Oh, you mean if everyone started their own note?
Yeah, well, no, it displayed differently for each person, and so you couldn't necessarily. We didn't find a way to direct you to the latest. Whereas in Discord, for example, you can click on inbox and see all the things that are headed for you. We had trouble with that for some reason. Not sure why. Frank has an answer though.
No, I have a question.
Oh,
you know that I've never
questions.
Sorry, can I just say I've never clicked on inbox in Discord. So that's where all the latest stuff is.
I have not either.
Yeah, top right corner.
Look at that.
A little Ethernet plug, and there's a light there.
Well, it's not an Ethernet plug for me. For me, it's like I don't know what
box.
it is, but yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Okay, sorry about that.
It's all right.
Who was jumping in?
Something about Frank having a question.
Yeah, Frank.
Right? He's not supposed to have questions. He's supposed to have answers.
So you mentioned the whole aspect of what they think about printing. Great. What I find limiting right now with some of the things Zoom is doing is portability. They want to host the document I want to be able to share it outside of Zoom. So I don't care if it's a PNG. Well, actually, a PNG would be kind of bad, but whether it's a PDF or a Word doc or something, I'd like to be able to get those off of the Zoom cloud and be able to store them or send them independently of Zoom. Did that come up?
No,
No.
it didn't. It should have. But again, I'm looking at. So I have a note here, just so we can clarify what we're talking about. So let me actually. I'm just gonna. This is a note. So, and I'll just rename it so that it has the same name. Is a note. All right. So now I'm going to share. So now anyone can share at or below their level. External users can be invited and can invite others. So I'm going to copy the link. Now I'm going to put it in our chat. And I have not invited any of you specifically. So let's see if that should open up for you and you should be able to edit it. But you all have Zoom accounts. So the question is, will it work if you're not in a Zoom account, if you're not logged in? So let me actually.
There's an export PDF in the 3-dot menu.
There is?
So, yep. I don't remember if that was there before. I didn't think it was. On the left-hand side, the 3 dots.
Look at that.
So that answers that.
PDF.
Good. All right, great. That's good news.
Huh. What does that do? Oh, that just opens it. That's like a
I see the
preview,
note, but I can't add to the note.
You can't add to it? This is a note has been exported as PDF. So now where did it export it to? It did not. Oh, but wait a second, Frank. It did not export it to. Where did it export?
Downloads, documents?
No.
No. Where did it go?
Sounds like a question to
View
take
in
to the
folder.
ZoomOSC kitchen.
Oh no, it did. Sorry, it did actually. It downloads it. There's got to be a way to change this into documents, Zoom.
Oh, that makes sense. That's where all their other stuff goes.
Yeah, and then there's a folder called Notes in here.
That's where your chat stuff goes and all the other things. Yeah, that follows their conventions, right?
Yep. Yeah.
For me, it's set to view only.
The note is set to view. Now, see, that's weird because
It must be a default
it should
from just sharing.
Oh, but maybe anyone with the link can view this note. Yeah. So we found this last time is that I can't. Now, if I add it if I share it with the meeting, all right, I can allow you to collaborate. But so this continues to be, so basically what we've discovered here is you can share the note either as a PDF, you can export as a PDF, or you can just copy the link and share it. Although I didn't check with in an incognito window. Let me just see if that works when I'm not logged in anywhere, if I'm able to access the note. No. So this is now, let me jump out of this. And so this is, I just put that link into an incognito window and I got this. So if you're not logged into your Zoom account, you cannot access notes, even though when it says external users can be invited back here, what that means is external to my org. That's all that means. So the only way as of right now to share with non-Zoom users is the PDF. You have to download the PDF.
And that's view only, obviously.
Right. Yeah, PDFs are view only, right. And even if I do share, even if I do click external users can be invited, and I do this, then it's only view only.
What happens if someone in this meeting is not on their client, but joined from the browser or whatever, and you invite everyone in the meeting to share?
Right. So I'm in this meeting, and on this other computer, I opened up I essentially logged out of Zoom and tried to see the note in it, and I had to log in to see it.
But is that thing part of this meeting? In other words, have you joined the meeting not through your client? Because people could do that.
I have not.
I'm gonna take issue with your phrasing. The joining through a web browser is a client. It's the web browser client versus the desktop client.
But it's not the Zoom client.
It's a client that Zoom
The
uses.
Zoom
It's
Okay. When I
The-
say Zoom app, I mean
on your phone. That's the
in my
mobile
dock.
client, the desktop client, the web browser client. They're all clients.
Okay.
Zoom Rooms is a client.
Yeah, someone's still going to have to explain Zoom. I do not understand Zoom rooms. That's for another discussion. So yes, I think that your issue, Frank, is persistent. That is to say, until I can share notes, and I would presume that docs. I would hope that docs would be treated differently than notes, maybe. Yeah, and if I can't share them more widely, then it's no good. Tamara, did you want to
How is
jump
the
in?
notes different than the whiteboard? I've only played with the whiteboard a little bit too.
So the whiteboard
Yeah.
is it's much more graphical. Much
But
more.
from a security point of view, it's very similar.
How so? What do you mean?
From a security point of view, having access to the whiteboard.
Yeah. Right.
For example, if you're a guest to if you're not part of my organization, and you want to add an image to a whiteboard, you have to sign in with a Zoom client. It's considered a Zoom security requirement. I also feel like it might be a way for Zoom to get more people to sign up for Zoom. If they always require you for security reasons to have a Zoom account to see things, that inflates the amount of Zoom users they have at their stockholder meetings and things when they talk about those sort of things, right?
And Google does this in certain ways also, right? Google, Tamara, I see you, by the way. Google, if you want to send automated emails, oh no, sorry, that's wrong. I apologize. If you want to upload documents in a form on Google, that only you have to log in with a Google account. So there are some other ways that they kind of force you to. Sorry.
So what I know she's waiting, I'm sorry. Basically what Zoom seems to be doing in a lot of their products is whatever you're doing, are you part of the organization? Yes or no? So on the back side, the admin for the whole organization can decide whether or not that's even possible. And then if they allow it, the second thing is, do you allow it in your personal account settings? So can you do things in or outside of your organization, first of all? That's one level of security. And then secondly is, what permissions do you have in that thing you're doing? Can you edit or just view as a secondary layer of restrictions or security, whatever you want to call them? So inside or outside your organization, and then are you just a viewer or are you an editor is the second layer.
And for years, one of the struggles with Google has been the interaction between business accounts and personal accounts. So I have, for example, I've got rabbidavidp@gmail.com, which is what I used for years and years and years. That's my personal account. And then I've got my rabbidavidpaskin.com, what's it called? Google Work, what's it called? Work something, whatever, right? The official one that workspace that you pay for, right? Yeah, the one that you pay for. And getting those to play nicely together has never been easy. And so one of the challenges that I imagine Zoom will be having is, because they seem so focused on the B2B, is how do we manage the relationships between different accounts? And just a thought. Tamara, jump in real quick before someone else cuts you off like me.
No, I was going to say, I understand why Zoom's doing what they're doing. And there's a part of me that loves the idea, because that is why everyone in my organization loves Google Meet, right? Because it's right there in the workspace. You click on it. It's easy to set meetings really quickly in a chat. And so it's a pretty fluid situation. We do use Zoom for things that have to be video based because they don't work as well in Google Meet. But but I can totally see why that works that way. But those Google, as much as I don't like the, the meat, I really do like the universe that they've created inside of Google in those workspaces. And you can now do your personal account free and have your own Google space. So I have two different, I've got my workspace for my work account, and I have my personal space that also, so if I log into whichever profile or both of those profiles in different browsers, I have a completely different experience. I have a completely different look that I'm able to use. So as much as I don't like the video chat component of it, everything else, including Google Drive being attached to it so we can have our shared drives and all of that stuff, that feels like a long way off for Zoom and a really heavy lift to get people to navigate from something that they've been working on for a really long time, and that I think has usurped the similar Microsoft 365, which was kind of the only game in town for a really long time. So I think I like what they're doing to a degree, but I think it's a heavy lift, and I'd rather them just continue to make the video part of it more robust and more production friendly at every single level. That's like what I would rather them spend.
So let me play devil's advocate to that, because just for the sake of playing devil's advocate. And I want to start with what this production lead from Huddles was saying, that she doesn't imagine that that Zoom Docs or Zoom Drive or whatever they're going to create is going to be a necessarily competition or is going to try and replace Google, because I think that they have the opportunity to think really differently about this kind of thing, and about how work gets done. And so that's what I would hope, right? I would hope that Zoom takes this opportunity not to just go for market share and recreate and try and do better what other people have done, but instead really think deeply in the same way that Zoom allowed us to reimagine what it meant to meet and work in digital space. I hope they have the same boldness when it comes to how we get that work done through docs and things like that. That would be really exciting to me. And I have no idea what that will look like. I don't pretend to know what the next iteration of Google Docs type workflow. Oh God, sorry. Sorry. Yeah, when I went like this.
Someone has a new operating system.
Yeah, sorry. But I could just turn it off, but it's kind of fun when it pops up unexpectedly. So in any case, that's what I would hope. I would hope that they just continue to think differently.
I agree with that. And I think that, it's easy to say right now, oh, well, it's nothing new and different, because it isn't anything new and different. But presumably they're laying the groundwork to be the next big thing. And I want all companies to be doing that, because I want to benefit from that. I benefited from Google doing that, right? So, so I'm all for companies continuing to push our idea of what a workspace looks like and all of that. At the moment, it's a heavy lift to kind of want to drop one over the other, because there isn't a new thing in these updates.
Agreed. Yeah, Lois, go ahead. You don't have to raise your hand. Just pop on in.
I was trying to turn on the thing, but the signaling is.
Oh, you're trying to get your hand to go up like this. Yeah.
Yeah. And then it's not doing it today. I don't know why. Maybe y'all have turned it off or something. I don't know. Anyway, going back to a question about notes. I'm enjoying notes. I've been putting in notes things that I want to have access to the next time I'm in that same meeting. It's like, now, how are you supposed to change the settings in this meeting? And so I've got all that stuff. My question is, if you are in this meeting, you start a note, you invite everybody in the meeting to join it, and we can do our thing during the meeting. At the end of the meeting, do I still have access to the note that you started? When the meeting's not in session, can I go in and still edit that?
So that is a setting, as I understand it, in here. So here's my notes panel again. I'm going to create a new note. And then when I go to share it, where is it? Sorry, where is the, I think I clicked on the wrong thing. Did I click on the wrong thing? I want to share it with this meeting. So how that, yeah. Where's my button to share it with this meeting?
Are you sure you made a new note?
Yeah. No, this is brand new here. Sorry. I'm not quite sure why I'm not seeing that anymore.
I think somebody
But
turned
you
it on.
do, you do get a
Everything gets
notes.
moved.
You do get a notes section in your account settings page.
No, I know why. Sorry, I know exactly why. So here's why. Because I did open my note here, but I did not open this note in the meeting. I opened this from the client. So if I want to open a note that will automatically, or that I can automatically share with the meeting, then I have to go into the meeting itself on the menu bar at the bottom, not the menu bar, but whatever that's the action bar at the bottom, click on notes from there. That will create a note. And now when I click on, now see, actually this already, why are you all already in this note? Oh, this is the old note. Sorry, this is the old note. So let me go back and I'm going to create a new one. So now this is my new note. And now when I click share, now I have this option, share with meeting collaborators. And I think when I click on this, yes, I can say collaborating viewing and then allow persistent access to verified meeting participants after closing the document. I believe, Lois, that's the thing that we're looking for. So if I go back,
Test it.
well,
Let's
so
test
I will definitely test it, but let me just first go back before we do that. So these are notes from, this is from October 6th. Now, it doesn't, I don't think it shows me. Let's see, this is a note. This is a nice note. Yeah, this is one that we created. If you go in, you should be able to see these. It won't really work well to test it here only because we're still going to be in the meeting. So we won't be able to tell in real time if you can access this outside of the meeting. But if you go into your client.
It hasn't even shown up on my notes yet.
What hasn't even showed up?
Your new note.
Well,
Yeah,
I didn't share it with you yet.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why. I can share it with you now if you want. Let me
Thank you.
So, well, actually, I already did one. So let me just go back to.
Mine doesn't have anything. Confused.
This is a note, and I'm going to share it now. Oh no! See, again, I did it outside of the meeting. This is it's confusing to me. So I'm hanging out here on my client. You've got to open it up from in the meet. That's really kind of frustrating.
You've got a library of notes, and then
Yes.
some of the notes belong to specific meetings. And if you want to open your library of, like, in the meeting, you can share the note with a specific meeting.
Right, but you can't do so. This note, the one that's called "This is a note" here and here. If I open it from, this is the palette that I opened up from the meeting itself. If I click on it from here and I go into share, I can share with meeting collaborators. If I open the same note from the client and I click on share, I don't have that option.
Well, that's because the client is not part of this meeting.
I know, understood, but it should know, I think, or maybe. So I guess, you know what I wonder if this option would show up. So this is a note that I created in this meeting. I wonder if this option would show up in a note that wasn't created in this meeting. Let me go to, I want to find one that I know for sure. Okay, they're in reverse. All right, so this is a note. Hold on a second. This is a note that was not created in this meeting. I'm going to, let me make sure that it's different. So not from this meeting. This note was not created on October 20th.
Might add that no cookies were brought to today's meeting.
And no cookies were brought to today's meeting.
So what meeting was that note created in?
This is back from, I'd have to look, but I believe it was the 6th of October, 2 weeks
In
ago.
this meeting, though?
Well, no, it's a different meet. Well, not with the same people. Like Dan was not here on the 6th, I don't
But the
think.
same meeting number.
Yes, the same meeting number.
So it should work.
Well, let's see. So I just shared that with everyone.
Yep, I've got your invitation here.
Yeah. But here's what it, but is, yes, you're right. It's the same meeting number.
And I have one that I did October 16th that I have now looked at. And if I say share, it does in fact say, do you want to share it with this meeting now? So it does persist.
So why would you get the ability to create a note outside of the from the client instead of in the meeting? What's the advantage of that one?
In preparation for a meeting.
Right.
So you're not in a meeting and you want to pre-prepare like you would a PowerPoint slide. You want to prepare something. It goes into your library of notes. And then in the meeting, if you click on the notes button at the bottom of the toolbar, then you can go into your central library of notes and you can say, I want to share that note with this meeting.
Right. So I just created a note that I made outside of a meeting, and I'm going to try and share that to all of you in a moment. But I just want to point out, I came back into the notes and I clicked I want to go back to all notes so that I could do that. And I'm getting this pop up. Please stop collaboration before you leave this note. So if I click that, I guess that means you all won't, you should have persistent access to it though.
But
Says
we probably
collaboration
can't.
Session ended.
And so now this is so I made this note made outside of a meeting. I made this note in the client, not in this meeting, same account, but not in this meeting. And now when I open this here, because I'm in the meeting, I should be, yes, and I can share this to the meeting. And I'm allowing collaborating, allow persistent access, share note. And now I have this, see, I don't understand this. I've got like the record kind of symbol up here. Why I now have to stay in this note if I want other people to be able to, can any of you access, let me stop collaborating. Can any of you access those notes?
It's called not from this meeting.
Yeah.
I have just written something in it, which is probably why you got that little red thing.
No,
Saying
I got the
someone's
little red
editing?
thing. No, I got the little red thing because,
Okay, so
can
it,
you type in it now though?
I just
No.
did. That's my note.
No, can you type in it now? Try it now.
Like I can't find it now. As soon as you took away collaboration.
Oh, wait,
it's-
but Lois is writing in it. How did Lois?
I'm in the note. I'm writing in it.
So what is, maybe collaboration pops it open in the meeting.
Okay, but how would I get to the note that I had been invited to, but now I'm not?
Click on
invited to?
notes in the bottom.
Nothing in there. Swearing to you, there is nothing there.
And then in the top left, there should be a little left arrow. Click on that to go back to your notes library.
s-
Okay.
You don't
So,
have the notes.
one thing-
I don't
toolbar.
have a notes library.
Have you ever made a note?
No,
Are you on a recent client of Zoom?
I am. I'm super updated.
He invited us. Some of us accepted that and took him up on it. Some didn't.
I did.
I guess you
And
did.
then I did. And then I was ready to type in it when he stopped collaboration. And now it has poofed gone somewhere into
All right, so
another that
wait
I
a second.
can't-
So look on my end. So I've got here, this is that note that I just sent out.
Mhm.
Already have access. Me, Lois, Ray, and Tony.
I think it's because we got in there before you
I think
stopped
you
collaboration.
right. Yeah, I
But
think
I
you were.
had it. I had accepted it
So let me
And
try it
then-
again. Well, this is, remember, I had two different notes. So let's
Right.
try.
I
I'm
did
going to
both.
share this to meeting again.
Cool.
So now
Love
this
it.
is shared in the meeting.
It says start collaborating.
I
Great.
got
it.
another note, say message to
And
collaborate.
now you're in, Tamara. Now I can
Okay.
see you in there. So now I'm going to stop collaborating.
Please do. Okay, we've ended.
And I think all that means is everyone can still access it and still edit it, I believe. I think all that means is now it's not forced upon everyone in this meeting.
Can't find it. I don't know where I'm
Camera
looking.
broke Zoom.
I broke Zoom.
In the
No,
bottom right hand corner of your toolbar, assuming you're on a desktop client,
I
there's
am.
a note bottom right hand corner, notes.
I click on it.
Okay, then you've got my notes, recent notes, shared notes, and starred notes. You would go to shared notes because David shared it with us, right?
There is literally, did someone say teamwork? When a note is shared with you, it will appear here.
Depending
broke it.
upon your screen, mine is along the left edge and it's just little icons.
Try
So
all notes.
I literally am doing that. And all notes, it's a last modified, last created, last alphabetical, owned by anyone. There's nothing there. It says create
Can you
notes.
share your screen so we can see what you're looking at?
Sure.
Tamara?
Let me do that.
Remove
Maybe I
Tamara.
broke it. I totally am up. for
It's the test kitchen. We're here to break things. That's how we learn.
Or at least test them.
This.
Update did it.
Can you see where, well, you can't see where I'm sharing from because I'm sharing the wrong thing.
We can see all notes.
So this is what I get. I get all notes, recent, click, click, click.
This
and-
doesn't look like the
Yeah, we're
Desktop
not seeing,
client.
we're seeing your, we're just seeing your browser.
browser.
Interesting.
Oh,
All
you
right,
know, you know what? You don't have checked to show Zoom windows when you're sharing.
Oh, yeah.
oh,
Zoom
okay.
windows by default are hidden.
All right. Well, let me,
There's a setting in Zoom that lets you show your Zoom interface.
and I've now.
Or
lost
share
all
portion
my
of
things.
screen and then it'll show everything.
Let's see.
Oh, will it? If
It'll
you
show
share portion
whatever's
of
in
screen,
portion.
it'll show the Zoom stuff also?
Yeah.
Maybe.
that's
Let
good
me
to
just,
know.
but that's what I thought I'd
I
share.
think
So
if
let
the
me
box is
just-
unchecked to show Zoom controls,
Yeah.
All right. Let me
it won't
see.
work.
Let's try.
Even if you do, Dan, even if you do it, a portion of screen?
Yeah, like I'm
I
doing.
would think if you didn't want them shown,
Right.
you
Right,
wouldn't
then
want
it
them
would
shown
never
in
do
a
it, yeah.
portion.
All right. Well, let's try it with portion screen. And I'm on the wrong side. So let me move it to this one so you can see what I'm looking at. Same thing.
We have a whole bunch of black.
You have a whole bunch of black. All right. Well, it's not showing that.
Yeah,
won't
no,
work
you have to
then.
go into your settings and check that box, I guess.
All right.
And what I did is I didn't realize that notes window would float above everything else, including a share. And so I was looking at my notes window thinking that's what was on your screen.
Oh, interesting.
All
There's
right,
also a
now-
checkbox for that. There's a checkbox to keep your control windows on top, isn't there? Which I actually have checked, but it's
Yeah, it's in
really
the
annoying to
general
me.
settings in the client. You mean to show Zoom controls at the bottom always? Yeah.
No. I'm actually thinking about the panels, like the participant
right.
panel stuff. Yeah, always show. Oh no, that's always show meeting controls.
Yeah, you want the
Okay.
setting that creates the Zoom
I don't
inception
want that.
when you show your own Zoom screen.
Right,
All right. Hold on.
right.
I have that on because I do a lot of demonstrations and training, but some people don't ever want that to show up, so they don't have it turned on.
Let
Yeah.
me try it again. Well, I'm still getting the same thing. I'm still getting empty stuff. So maybe it's a Zoom general setting I have to have that.
Yeah, no, there is
Says
definitely a
phases.
setting. Let me see where that is. Share screen. It's under
Is
share
there-
screen.
Is there
Okay.
something in the meeting settings also? that
Yeah, it's
might-
under share screen. It says show my Zoom windows to other participants when I'm screen sharing. It's the second checkbox on the page there.
Full screen mode, maximum mode.
Yep. Under full screen, it says scale to fit shared content and then show my Zoom
Mine
windows.
is clicked.
It's
No.
clicked.
Mine doesn't say that. It says side by side mode. So am I on the?
You don't
most
even
advanced
have
client?
that? What?
What? All right,
What
maybe I'm not
the-
as advanced as I thought I was. I just updated like very recently. So let me
But they
just,
haven't had an update in a while, so.
yeah, so now I'm feeling left out.
Well, this is old though. Yeah, this is old. This has been here for. Are you on a PC or a Mac?
I'm on a Mac.
My Mac does, it looks there. Are
Very
you
good.
part of an organization that might have had an admin lockout on something?
All right, let me look again. Hold on.
That's interesting. I wonder if you can shut this off on an admin level.
What?
I always figured
I'm
that's
checking.
probably what happened when something shows for one person and not for another.
I don't know what is going on.
Blame the kitten, yeah.
Oh, and it took away my sound. How nice.
I put a screenshot of what it looks like in the chat.
Okay, cool. Let me see. Take a look.
Hey, by the way, sorry, while she's looking, this is annoying. My audio settings in Zoom, they keep switching. I keep putting it on original sound for musicians and it keeps switching it back to Zoom background noise removal.
Not only is
So
that supposed
annoying.
to say persistent, that's supposed to say persistent in a breakout room now. which
I
is
know,
my
and this has
thing.
been happening recently. I don't know what
What client version are you on?
the latest. I check every 3 seconds. if
Point
there's a
two?
new- I'm on.
I'm up to date. I'm at point
I
2
have
and I'm
no
not getting
idea.
any of these things that you're getting. Like
Next
that,
week you'll be on 0.5.
my notes does not look like your
Stop
notes.
showing off.
Thanks for sharing.
Foreshadowing.
I am on. I have no idea what I'm on. Where is it? How do you know what you're on? I know I'm going up to
Click
about.
on the Zoom menu and go about.
That's what I did, but I can't find my about. It's not popping up anywhere.
See a doctor.
I,
It's also under statistics too, under the client.
Sorry.
Things
Oh
are
my God.
happening.
that was fantastic.
Under statistics,
I'm-
David, it's there in the
Oh, it's under
top,
statistics,
in the
okay.
beginning. Yeah, I'm
Okay,
in 5.16.2, 22807.
That is what I am in as well. Now I'm curious about
5.16.2,
something.
23409.
I'm PC.
5.16.2.
Okay. That is strange. Why would you, and you're in like the regular vanilla Zoom client. You're not in Zoom Cuts or
Nope. Okay, I have. Let me. Interesting. Okay.
And lock it out as an admin. I can turn it off and then I can click the little lock button next to the account settings.
wait, you can? There's an admin level?
Yep, I'm the admin
Oh.
on our account, so I can click this little. I can uncheck it.
Oh, look at that. So
And then I
so
can-
maybe on an
I can
admin
lock it.
level.
And now no one was able to undo that.
Usually though, if you go into your own settings, let's say you're not the admin, it'll show you that it's locked by admin.
It's true.
There'll be a
Alright.
message saying locked by admin.
Happy to go into my own.
So it's in meeting, it'll be
Basic.
in settings, in meeting basic.
So I have a question. While we're waiting for all this stuff to clear out, we're streaming this, we're recording this. Who is it that's managing what the recording sees? In other words, I'm pinning, like when Dan put that up, I pinned him so I could see it big. But who's recording it, and does pinning on their screen what you do to see it big on the recording, or should somebody be spotlighting things?
No, the recording is the streaming, not the recording. The streaming is always dependent on the host's view. So what I'm looking at is what goes out to YouTube. So whereas normally I always keep my main Zoom window in gallery view so I can see everyone, for the test kitchen, I most of the time keep it in speaker view. So right now you are full screen on YouTube. Or sorry, actually I am. The reason I said you is because I have hide self view, so I never see myself in there. But I'm full screen right now. And if I change it to gallery view, which I just did, in about 20 seconds, YouTube will catch up and we'll be in gallery view.
So if
So
you're
it's dependent
hiding
on-
your own view, wouldn't that hide it from the stream as well?
No, at least I hope not. I don't know. Who's watching the stream? Have I been
No,
on the stream
yeah.
at all?
Yeah, you're doing fine. We see the active speaker, and when you go to gallery view, the YouTube sees gallery view. Early
hi-
on, you were always in gallery view, and that's all the group saw. When each one of us can pin something,
Mhm.
but only the host or co-host can spotlight.
Yeah, I just think of it as like you're recording. If you just record yourself, which I do a lot in training videos for people, whatever I'm recording and whatever I'm doing is what's recorded. So if I'm sharing, if I just turn off my self view, that's just for me. I don't want to see myself. It's still I'm the only video in the thing. So it's gonna share it.
Right. Whatever I'm right. It's not whatever I'm looking at. You're right, Dan. It's not whatever I'm looking at, because if you hide self view, then it's not that. But and the reason, Lois, I cut myself off before about recording is because recording is actually different. Recording local files, as I understand it, is the same, follows the same rules as streaming does. But recording cloud files, you can decide what you want to save, what you want to record there.
And you decide that ahead of time, not when you're choosing to record to the cloud.
Right, on the back end in your settings. So here I am in my settings. If I go to recording, then I can say local recording. There are no options really here, but then for cloud recording, I can do active speaker with shared screen, gallery view with shared screen, active speaker, gallery view, and shared screen separately, and all these different options here. So yeah, you set those on the back end. Where did you say, Frank, you said that the setting for allowing notes,
Settings,
was it in basic?
meeting, basic. Then you're gonna have to look for it, or
Yeah.
you can search for it in
Oh,
the search bar.
yeah,
That's often
duh.
faster.
Yeah, notes. I always forget to
It
do
used
that.
to be when
Oh,
there's
no, it's
only
not notes.
6 settings. Now there's
Windows. Show
a
Zoom
gajillion.
windows during screen share. Yeah. Tamara, have you been able to find that on your end?
No.
So
I now have every single thing logged into every way of doing this.
but
and-
instead of just looking at your regular settings,
Mhm.
make sure that you go down under account management,
Okay.
and then so on the left hand side, go all the way down to account management and then account settings.
Alrighty, hold please.
That's the global setting. You still
Yeah,
have to
she
check
won't
it for
see
your
that.
personal setting.
Well, I know, but I think she said that it was checked in her personal settings. So I'm wondering if it's
Well,
All right,
are you a
so-
Zoom administrator for your account?
Yeah.
Oh,
if
okay.
it's a
Good.
private
For
account, then you're
me and 10 other accounts.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
I didn't know if you were or not.
Yeah. So I'm sorry, tell me again, under account management.
account management, account
Yep.
settings,
Got it.
and then if
Alright,
you just search for the word Windows
got it.
up at the top, the first thing that pops up will be Team Chat Security, and then Meeting Basics, show Zoom windows during screen share.
It is clicked on.
Okay.
Then you need to check
So-
it in your personal account.
Okay.
So scroll where David is showing. He would scroll up to the personal section. Then it would be settings.
Okay. let
Then
me
the
check.
meeting tab. Then in meeting basic, and then or search. Either way, however you like to do it.
All right. Surely it is not there. Let's see. Meeting passcode. And
While we're waiting, that's awesome.
no pressure.
I got an email. I don't know if anyone else got it, but I got a bunch of emails from Zoom saying back-end maintenance, web upgrade. That means they're changing things this weekend. So you should see new stuff soon.
Oh, it's this weekend.
Well, I think they're going to stagger them throughout the week. There's a bunch of things happening, depending which products you use as well, right? They have different notices depending on what you use. If you have Zoom phone, there might be. You're muted, Ray.
I'm looking, yeah, Zoom maintenance.
Remember that first thing, Frank, you told me the other day that you couldn't tell everybody else about? Tell
I didn't tell you anything. We're live streaming. You must have imagined it.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, backend update 1021. So we've got some work for the web. That's the web portal. Let's see what else. Virtual agent update, Zoom contact phone update. That's it, actually. It's those four. So the web backend update, I guess that's what it's
The
going to be.
one I'm looking at talks about smart recording, AI companion, restoring HD video settings, new and enhanced features, team chat.
Is that
user
from support at
features.
zoom.us?
Yeah, support at zoom.us. Yeah, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them.
Oh, maybe I'm not signed up for all of them.
You can subscribe to some of them, and some of them I think I get as, I don't know, as,
Yeah.
I think I subscribe to a bunch of them actually.
Zoom contact says subscribe to updates. But I don't want these.
I'm looking at Zoom support release notes, Zoom released by product, last updated October 19th, upcoming release for October 23rd.
Yeah. Oh, are you sharing now, Tamara?
I was gonna try, but it doesn't. Are
We're
you
seeing
able to
your-
see?
We see your Discord.
Okay, well, you should be. Are you seeing any Zoom things?
Nope.
Okay, so
Nope.
mine is set to do all of the things that you said I could do, and I'm now can't do two things. I can't share, and I can't find the notes. Someone at Zoom doesn't like me. Just saying.
Just go, you probably did this, but go screen share and screen share the desktop and make sure it's the desktop that has your Zoom interface.
Yep. Let me try that. Hold on. Whoa.
Assuming you have multiple desktops, I don't know.
I do have multiple desktops. I think that's part of my problem is that it's not doing what it normally does. Why is that now?
You don't use virtual desktops, do you?
No. Let me do this and move everything off of this secondary desktop. Even when I'm going to share screen, it's not giving me, it's just going straight to share screen now. It's not even.
You might
giving
have to
me
leave the
options.
meeting and rejoin.
I'm going to leave the meeting and rejoin.
Okay, come right back.
Like, not just leave the meeting, but close Zoom and restart it. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either, because even when I'm going to share, it normally gives you two windows of things to choose. It's not letting me.
Yeah, there's times when you change a setting in Zoom, the only time it takes effect is when you quit Zoom and start the meeting again.
But what's weird is that she didn't actually change anything.
Yeah,
Well,
I was
then
already
I don't
there.
know.
I don't know. All right, I'm going to leave and come back and see if that solves it.
All right. See you soon. That really is weird.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on there.
Yeah.
so we can talk about her now.
Now we can talk about it. Lois, you're
Let's
back.
leave her a note.
Did you?
And I got my hand up. So I wanted to share with you a very, 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 very low-tech solution to a problem I was having. I was trying to, I did this presentation about basic plain vanilla Zoom, how to use Zoom effectively. Okay, and I wanted to show people the Zoom screen, but we had that sharing problem, okay, and I didn't want to share screen. So what I ended up doing is, I don't know if you know, but if you've got one of these in Zoom where it has your camera choices, it suddenly shows up. I didn't do anything. I didn't get an extra app. I have Epoch Cam on this one, but on the other one, it just showed up.
Continuity
Not on
camera.
PC.
Continuity camera. Yeah.
Yeah, not on PC.
Yeah, just on Mac.
It's okay. You'll get it eventually, you know, maybe, or maybe you'll move to Mac. I don't know. But anyway, so I could use that and just take it and point it at my screen to show what I was looking at, even if I was having difficulty, instead of all that OBS and stuff like that. Anyway, it was exciting to do. The only problem was you have to be careful where you point it so you don't get that infinite video echo.
Yep.
Okay, so now that Tamara's back, she didn't hear that. That's good.
Well, I'm gonna give Tamara a chance to see if she can get it working. And while she's doing that, just curious, did any of you happen to? Oh, here she is. Wait, she's got it up.
It literally went straight to, it didn't give me any options.
So okay, so if you I believe there's an arrow next to stop share, like
Right.
maybe pause share or change share or something,
Okay.
and that
Yeah.
should give you options now.
It just gives me stop share. Let's see. What does that do? Can you see my toolbar? You can't see any of that. You can just
No,
see my
we
We're
can-
seeing Discord,
Yeah, we saw
So, yeah,
Discord,
you're
and now
seeing
just your
desktop.
desktop.
So
yeah.
it is showing my second desktop, but it's not even giving me a chance to share anything other than that, which is unusual.
Drag the
because
Zoom client to your second desktop and see what happens.
All right, let's try that. Put that there and share.
Like the
screen.
whole meeting. Drag the meeting to your second desktop.
It put my meeting back onto the second desktop, and it is showing my first desktop.
That's weird.
It is very strange. All right, let's
Is
see.
the
if I-
use dual monitors?
click
checked
on-
in your
Oh
Zoom?
yeah. yeah.
I am doing use dual
point.
monitor, so I can maybe uncheck use dual monitor.
Can I
This is
just
like-
can I just ask you a question? So are you
shouldn't have
not
to.
seeing this share window here?
I'm not seeing that. That's the thing that I'm not seeing, and I always see that.
Okay, so there's
So,
a setting to
I don't know if there's
bypass, right?
settings
So
that
there's
are
a setting to
on
bypass
yours
pulling this up.
that are not allowing me to. All I see is all it lets me do is go to here. It doesn't
Right.
let me do
So if you
anything
go-
else. And
go
it did a
into-
few minutes ago.
Go into your settings,
This is crazy.
go into share screen.
I mean,
and-
legit, I share
Yeah.
all the time.
So go into share screen in your just in your client settings. You don't have to go on the back end yet.
Let me see. Okay.
And then
And I created a note for myself in all notes, and it shows up, but it does not show me any.
all right, wait,
other-
did you go into your settings yet, Tamara?
So strange. And it just shifted. my-
Tamara. Tamara. She can't hear me. Can you
I
guys hear
can
me?
Now. I can
Oh.
now. When it also shifted my sound when I did that.
Oh, that's weird. Go into your settings
Hmm.
and in share under share screen, there is an option that says underneath when I share my screen in a meeting, automatically share desktop or show all sharing options.
Hey, I got the other thing that was not there before.
I
So that's
don't know what
good.
that means, but okay.
Um,
Did you click automatically share desktop or show all sharing options?
Let me see. All right, that should be fine. Okay, there we go.
I don't think she's hearing you.
I can-
Tamara.
I can hear you. I can't speak apparently.
She's got that ignore button.
No, I can hear you.
She has a singular focus.
I can hear you. You can't hear me.
No, we can hear you.
Linear.
I can hear you.
Yeah. Okay. So did you in the share screen settings?
I just did it. I'm gonna try now and see what it lets me do. It doesn't let me do it.
Now we can see. We could just see your screen, your Zoom screen.
Okay.
Now we can see your Zoom screen or your
You can see my
toolbar.
Dune screen or my desktop.
We can see the top of your menu bar, whatever that's called, the action bar for Zoom.
Oh my
We can now
God.
see, and we can see your chat, Zoom chat. Now we can see the Zoom meeting.
Okay, so here we go. This is what I'm seeing when I press on my notes. I'll do it again. Now it's going to do it. It's going to all be there. I can only see the note I created. I can't see the David note. It's wiggy, right?
All right, hold on. Keep that up.
I'm going to.
And I'm going to, because now that we've got it, God forbid we should let it go. I'm going to write you a little love note here.
Awesome.
This is a Zoom love note. All right. Dear Tamra, Zoom loves you. Okay, now I'm going to share this with the meeting, and I want to see if what happens on your end.
Okay.
All right, so I'm collaborating and I'm going to share. I clicked share.
And I can start collaborating. And then I get this.
Okay.
Maybe if I respond back.
Okay, so now I'm going to stop collaborating. Let's see what happens.
Because it ended.
Now, why don't you have it? Now go into recent.
Oh, I do
there it
have
is.
it now. Now, the one thing I did differently
You
is
typed.
I typed into
Yeah.
it. So if you don't participate, you don't get to have it.
I don't know. I also have an alternate theory. A bunch of them during this meeting have opened, and I've declined them by basically closing them. So they were coming up so often, I didn't want to type in every note, so I just closed the offer of joining or collaborating. So I don't see those ones in my list. Maybe if I don't.
I didn't. So the only thing I did differently, because I joined all the collaborations, was that I didn't type anything into them. So if you don't collaborate, but you guys all have it, even though you didn't
That
collaborate.
doesn't make sense though, because what if you're in a meeting with 50 people and you do want access to the note, but you didn't happen to add it, contribute anything? That would be a crappy thing because you still
That
want
would be
access to the details.
problematic. Yeah, that would be problematic.
So I don't think it
So-
works that way.
I don't either, but and it
That
could
seems
be that
to be what happened here.
But
I
right
don't
now
have
with
the other notes.
with this note, are other people who joined able to still see it, even if
So-
they didn't type?
So you're in the, so I shared this with you too. So do me a favor and go into your notes and see if you have it.
I
'cause
have
you
it.
did
I
not-
I was typing when you turned off collaboration. So it's got my note in there, but it's just spinning. It's not changing anything.
Who bolded or who made large the word loves?
That would be me,
Who's me? Dan?
Dan.
Okay. So someone who didn't type in this, see if you have it in your notes.
What's this note
says-
called? Oh, it's a love note?
A Zoom love note.
I
And
don't see that.
There are only 4 people listed as being
Right.
collaborators.
Oh, but Frank, did you accept the invitation to
No, I
collaborate?
closed it as soon as it showed up.
Yeah. So
So
that's
now I
why
don't
you
see
have
it.
Well, no, you wouldn't see it because you said no.
But
Yeah.
I shared it with this meeting though. That's the
Yes,
thing.
but he-
But
I-
I'm
it-
looking at my notes in the meeting tool.
So-
Maybe if I went to the client, I would
But
find
even
it. I
if
don't
he
know.
does it as if I share a note with people, even if they don't want to collaborate, I still want them to have access to it.
But they rejected your offer.
But I didn't reject the offer the
No.
last 2 times, and I
You're
still
in,
didn't get
I'm
it.
in, Dan's in. But
All
if
right.
someone rejects the offer,
Did
they wouldn't-
anyone in this meeting accept the offer but not type in the note?
Oh, by
Because
the way,
That's
what
what
it-
I did last time, and I didn't get it. So that's
Right.
the question. If you don't collaborate, you don't get the note. Then
so we're gonna try this again with you, Tamara. But just so everyone knows, on my end, it only looks like me and Tamara are in this note.
Well, that's
Those are the
interesting because
only
on
people that
my
I
end,
see.
Yeah,
I have
mine is-
4 people.
I only have 2. I have me and David.
David, are you sure you're in your meeting notes rather than
Yes.
your client
Yes.
notes?
Yes, I am. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
I still
gonna-
have that note set up.
All right. I'm gonna do one more note. Frank, feel free to ignore this. Just like
Or
every other
Frank-
note,
Accept the collaboration, but don't type in it.
this is not a note for Frank.
This is not a love note.
Whatever you do,
It's a hate note.
don't let Frank see this note. Okay, so now I'm going to click share. There are 8 people in the meeting. I'm going to click share to meeting. Collaborating, allow person. Now, wait, before I do this, let's actually be a little scientific about this. So, Tamra, you're going to accept the collaboration, but not type anything.
Got it?
She should type because
I'll reject it as usual.
Okay.
I'll accept
No, and then because
Yes.
I'm looking for these notes in my not
Right.
in the meeting toolbar, but I'm looking in the client, and I'm not
Yeah.
seeing them there either. I'm wondering if the meeting ends, if they'll populate,
Yeah,
or
I was
because
just
I
wondering
declined
the
them,
same.
I'll never get them.
Yeah. And
I think if you say no, then nobody could force them on you.
and Lois,
Don't force
except
your
that
notes
I'm
on me.
sharing, except I specifically asked to share this with the meeting. So Lois, you can open it and type in it. Okay. So we have
Okay.
3 different options and share.
Okay, I'll decline it.
I accepted, but didn't.
And don't type
I'm not
anything.
typing. No typing.
And I
And
see it,
Lois-
and I have a red camera next to it. What is the camera? This note
That
is
means,
not?
yeah. So that's the collaborating icon.
Okay.
That means that I said that, oh, you know what? There's one more test we have to do after this. And that
I
is,
don't have the red thing, but I have 4 people on the note, but I'm not touching the note.
Are you on the note, Tamara?
I can see the note. Yes, who's bringing
But
cookies?
the list of 4 people. I have
Tamara's, yes,
myself-
Tamara's
I
in
don't
there.
know, but I'm not touching the note.
No, she is. It's
She
me,
is, and
Tamara,
Tony.
Tony, and Lois. And now
And
Ray
now
is in
Ray
there
just
also.
added.
Right.
Yes. Okay, so now I'm going to stop collaboration.
Great.
Oh, wait. Ray is busy typing. Ray here. Okay, and stop collaboration. All right,
Oh,
collaboration
something
is now
weird just
off.
happened.
Now it told me that the collaboration has ended and nothing is anywhere.
Frank, what happened?
Oh no, I got it.
In the list of all notes, this is not a note for Frank showed up.
Yeah.
And then you
mine
guys
too.
did something and it went away. It disappeared and I didn't touch anything.
So
you
I
didn't
stopped
collaborate.
collaborating.
Oh, and then that must have been when it jumped out of my list of all notes.
So if you don't collaborate, you don't get the note, man. Even if you don't
So
accept
I
the
had the-
collaboration.
I saw it in my list briefly. It was there, and then David clicked something, and then it went away.
I think I've got that figured out. You can still, because you're in this meeting, you can still choose to join the note even after you initially said no, as long as the note is
Still
still
available.
inviting people.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So I do have this one, even though I did not type, I did collaborate. It didn't work last time, but I can see it in my all. So it's there.
I
next to
lost my
logo.
chance to be part of the note.
So now
Okay.
here's
Lose,
the
you lose.
question.
Wait, can we do one more experiment?
Before we do
Yeah.
that,
Sorry.
the note that you just had, you stopped collaboration on, but I was already part of sharing the notes. I added something. Can you read it?
Sure.
Do you see Lois also?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, because
Yes.
that didn't happen last time. Last time when I hadn't finished my first add to it
Right.
and it never showed up.
So did you add this after
Yes,
I stopped?
yes. But I had already written something once. Who's bringing cookies is mine.
Okay, Tamara, try and type something
I'm
on.
gonna
on-
add something now.
Yeah. Yeah, and I can see you typing.
I
Yeah.
think as long as you accept the collaboration, you can be in, but it didn't work last time.
I know,
And
that's what.
I mean, I've had a
and-
couple of weird little wiggy things happen with some of the new things. Like, for example, this is not in notes, but I started a meeting and it automatically started a team chat. And I was like, oh, I don't want a team chat. I closed out the meeting. And when I went to close out the team chat, it deleted the meeting. And then the meeting there was no recollection that meeting ever existed. It wasn't in a past meeting. It wasn't in anything. So I feel like there are a few things that are little buggy stuff that don't work the way that Zoom says they're going to work. And
Is
I
this still
literally,
beta?
I don't know. I mean,
I'm just worried, like, for my use case, imagine 100 people in a meeting and some of them don't participate in the note and then they need to study from the notes later.
absolutely.
Are they going to have to contact the host of the meeting and say, hey, I didn't actually accept that note. Can you reshare it with me?
Right now,
Mm.
feels like you might have to.
Now, what's
and-
interesting, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, and I accepted collaboration for the first 2 notes and then did not get the note. So it's got some issues.
So here's So on my end, so now I went back into this note and I just clicked on, I didn't go back into the note, but this is not a note for Frank. I clicked on the 3 dots and I went back to share. So it's showing me the names of the 5 people who who participated in this note. Now I wonder, Frank, I'm going to copy the link access.
We're still in the meeting though. Is there no way for you to make the note available to me again without sharing it as a link?
Wait, where the heck did the note go? Oh, there it is. No, I should be able to. No, if I go back into share and I shared a meeting again, or I could do you personally, I guess.
No,
I
do
don't-
it.
I don't have your email
Share
here.
to
Just
meeting will start.
Share it to the
direct
meeting and I'll see if it
collaboration.
shows up again. Yeah, now I'm getting a chance to see it again.
And I have an invitation to share the note too. When you did that, it gave an
I
invitation
also
to
have an
all.
invitation. I'm going to close that and not accept it this time and see if I can still edit the note because I was already a sharer.
Right.
Right.
Oh my God. Look at Ray's head. How did That's a lovely addition to our note.
It took almost 35 seconds to load it.
Really?
It did, because I saw it as a purple box for a while. I was like, who is doing this nonsense? But now it's even better.
So now this is not a note for Frank, shows up for me in the list of all notes. Because I
Interesting.
typed something in the note.
Yeah.
I didn't decline it this time.
Pay
So
to
you're-
play is what this
and-
is.
And
Your
although I
question-
did not accept the second collaboration invitation, I was still on it from the first time, so I can type now.
And your question, Frank, about so what is
It's
you
going to
know,
be problematic. Imagine you're in a meeting with 50 people and some of them aren't paying attention or they're busy
Right.
multitasking and they don't collaborate in the note or they decline it because they're busy doing something else. And then after the meeting, they're like, I really need that information too. Now you have to do extra work to get them the note.
right? Is Ray, are you moving your image or is that just taking really a long
That's
time to
Lois.
load properly?
That was
No.
Lois.
Oh, someone was actively moving. I just wasn't
Lois
sure if that
just
was
seeing what I could do with
Gotcha.
other people's stuff.
gotcha.
You're
Sorry,
toying
Ray.
with me, toying
I'm
with me,
toying
Lois.
with
How many
you.
times
I'm
have I
playing
told
with your
you?
head, man. Messing with
Literally,
your head.
literally.
Yeah.
So so then if someone missed that, we'll all have to see after this meeting, you
Sure,
know, which of these notes persist. But I can either, so I'm going to stop collaboration and now I can share this. And I guess what you would have to do, at least for the time being, is copy the link and send it to people.
I still see it in my recent notes because this time I didn't decline
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
But for all the ones I declined, what if they had important information? And after
Yeah.
the meeting, I went, oh, I didn't accept any of that. I need that stuff.
I wonder if is that the same behavior for whiteboards? I wonder.
So we can test that right now because you declined the one that said not from this meeting, right? But he still has that note. So David, can you invite Frank with a link, direct message, and see if it works?
That should
To-
work.
To which one?
Not from this meeting.
Sure. Hold on one
If he
second.
shares a link, if he goes to the trouble of sharing a link, it should work. But
Yes,
should work.
but the link that you get is only view this note. Unless you are in my org, it's view only. I cannot share with you a link to edit this.
But that's okay. His use case is it's after the meeting. Somebody now wants to see
Right.
the notes that everybody made. And so if you could just look at it, that should be good.
Right. And the
Yeah,
other
well, that's problematic though. If let's say I do need to be able to edit it and I'm not in your org.
right. So
Then you
now I
messed up,
could
man.
no, wait a second. So I've got, part of the problem here is because I guess I don't have you, Frank, as a contact in Zoom.
That's probably makes sense too. Yeah.
I can't, are you comfortable giving your email over chat so I can try this or?
I'll private message it to you.
Yeah. And then I'll turn off my screen share when I do this. Just to see if I do put it in via email, if that works. All right, I got it. You all cannot see my screen, right? Okay. Yep. And it shows as external. User is external to the org, right?
That should work. Me and Mike tested that 2 weeks ago, Mike. I added him to the team chat as an external person. He's not part of my org, and now he's one of my contacts.
And on my end, I have 3 options. I can share this to Frank either as viewer, editor, or co-owner.
Sure.
I don't know what co-owner means, but
probably gives you the ability to publish it or take away editing privileges from other people and things of that nature, right?
Or delete it.
Or delete it, yeah.
Yeah, so I now share that to you, and presumably you'll get an email.
Yeah, I just got one.
It would be nice though if it just popped right up in Zoom though.
If
so I don't have to pop out to.
this says note shared with me, note shared, and I've been invited to edit the note, but you didn't add me as a contact. If you added me as a contact, then maybe I would get more opportunities. I don't know.
I'll be honest with you.
You'd have more options. I don't know.
I'll be honest with you. I don't even know how to add you as a contact. Let me.
It's in your Zoom client.
Yeah.
It's one of the tools.
Yeah, I have 0 This is so depressing. Look at this. These are my current contacts.
I have 27,000 contacts or something, because it gives you contact information for everyone in your org who's using the application, but I can add private contacts. You can also import contacts, but it's a very strange procedure if you want to import a spreadsheet of contacts.
Really?
Yeah. Basically, the way to do it is, let's say you've exported all your contacts from your favorite contact manager list as a CSV. In your Zoom client, there's a section about, actually, I think it's on the web, personal contacts on the left-hand side. You add one contact, right? Just add one contact manually. And then you can download that as a CSV, and it has certain formatting Zoom expects. Then you would do some sort of merge with your other CSV, and then you can import that template back in, and then you would have all your contacts. But you can only do it with Excel, and you can't change any of the formatting. It has to be. That's why you need to export the template from Zoom, because it expects certain formatting. I guess you could do it manually if you know what the formatting is.
So I don't really know what I just did.
I wasn't watching, so I don't know.
No, I know. So I turned off my thing. So I clicked on. So I do have contacts. I have the 9 people in my org, obviously.
Sure. Yeah.
And then under external, I now have Frank. No one's in Star. Cloud contacts. Connect a contact book. I don't even know what. Oh God, what happened?
Yeah,
right,
that's what I was talking about. So if you scroll down, but you see where it says personal contacts on the left.
This is the wrong thing. So this is what comes up here.
Yeah, I guess there's another way I didn't know that I didn't know about.
Google, and then I choose my name because I wanted to grab my contacts from there. Configure a calendar successfully. You can go to client to check your upcoming meetings, but that's not what I wanted to do. So where did you say to go?
If you scroll up,
yeah,
you went past it. So you see it says webinars, phone, personal contacts.
No.
You're highlighting profile, the blue bar on profile.
Yeah. Sorry, webinars, phone, personal contacts.
Personal contacts, right there. So what you would do is add one contact. So, Joe Blow from Kokomo, I don't know, whatever.
Okay.
Whoever, I don't know. So that'll create the database in Zoom Server. The main reason you're doing this is because you don't want to have to do this for 500 people. This is a way to bulk import your contacts. All right, so now you've got, go back to the personal contacts tab. Yeah. Oh, I don't know why it's doing that. You can, see where it says export to CSV file? Now you could export that. And now you could use Excel if you're smart enough. I'm terrible at Excel, but then you could import the rest of your contacts from your other CSV sheet, and you'll have the formatting that Zoom requires to
Right,
import.
and then you'd use this replace with new CSV file, I guess.
Yeah, and then that would bring in your 500 or 10,000 contacts if you're that popular.
Right. All right. So let me open this up, and I'm going to add another contact to it, and then I'll replace.
You
So
should
this
be
is
able to.
Oh, you opened it with notes. That won't work. It has to be Excel.
no. This isn't notes. This is
Oh.
numbers.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, numbers. It won't work in numbers. It has to be Excel.
But you can export into Excel.
What I've been told or what I've read is this won't work. You have to use Excel.
Well, let's try it.
That's
Dive,
so bizarre. Because if you change it to a CSV,
I don't know. I'm just telling you what I read. I didn't go to the
Just
trouble of trying it in
doesn't make sense.
numbers.
All right. So we're gonna.
If you have the correct fields in the correct order, it shouldn't matter if it's sheets.
I'm just telling you what I
Spreadsheet,
read.
Excel.
I just
No, I
ignored
totally get it. It's
numbers
just-
because I was told it wouldn't work, so I didn't try it.
it's
All right,
so
we're
easy.
trying it. So here's CSV. Just save it to my downloads. Personal contacts. Yes. Replace it. Okay. So now if I go, oops, no, go away. Oh no, I don't need that. Go away. Right now, if I go back here, replace with new CSV file. Select CSV file right there. And now there they are.
Oh,
Two people.
Okay, well,
Yeah,
don't
a CSV file is like an RTF.
I
It's-
understand.
It
but
doesn't.
Yeah.
It shouldn't matter. But
All right, so okay, so this is great. This is really good to know. Now, what it didn't do, and what I wanted to do was grab my see. This is again, here we go with integrations and how important integrations are. What I really want is for it to just be able to grab my Google contacts and bring them in here.
Well, I think what you did earlier triggered something that looked like it was going to do that,
I agree, but
but I didn't even know that was possible. So that was a
it says
revelation to
connect
me.
a contact book. I don't even know what that means. So for some reason, it keeps opening up like all these different things.
So you've got Google,
In Mac,
Office, and
book,
Exchange.
the address book is called contacts. Maybe that's what it's thinking of.
Yeah, so it's finding these. Maybe, you know what? Hold on. Let me
So
try this.
that's the-
Have you got a
that's in the
calendar
Google
service?
search.
Do you have a calendar service integrated with your Zoom account?
Oh, wait. Sorry. I do have a calendar service integrated. Google.
One of those three,
Google.
not Calendly or something else. But it
no,
has-
Google.
Yeah.
Google
So
Calendar.
if you've got that set up, you can probably make that connection. Is what it looks like.
Yeah. Calendar. What? Oh, I'll have to sign in. Next, let's see if it works this time. That.
So that's saying, do you want the Microsoft calendar or the Google calendar to be connecting?
Two different versions of the Microsoft
different things.
Address books.
And on the other one, he had three choices, but I don't think there was anything. There's the one that's on your computer, which is none of these.
This is not working today. This is most definitely not doing what it should be doing. Because I am connecting it and connecting it and connecting it, and this is not wanting to work. Let me get off of that and go back into it.
David, can you when you're
No,
not
look at that.
dealing with Zoom, can you in Google export?
Oh, sure. You mean contacts and things like that? Yeah.
If you can
Yeah.
export, then maybe importing that would work.
No, you absolutely could do that. You're right. What I'm looking for is though a two-way sync. But you're absolutely right. You could do that.
So do you have in your Zoom client? Do you have Zoom email or Zoom calendar set up?
No, I'm what I did is I connected Gmail and Google Calendar to both, and since I've upgraded the now it seems to be somewhat broken.
There's a setting in there's two settings. There's the global administrator setting for calendars and email that has to allow it, and then in your personal account you have to do it as well.
Yeah, no, I've had them turned on because I use them, but
And at my organization, the IT department on the back end had to allow it as well from their servers. it didn't work until we asked them to turn it on their
Yeah,
side
see, I have it on here.
of the Exchange servers. For the Office
Calendar and
365.
contacts integration.
Yeah.
Google, right. Yeah, it's all turned on. There's
Okay.
something weird going on. Oh, I know what the problem is. I'm not logged in to my main account here. I'm logged into the Zoom Test Kitchen account.
Okay, that makes sense.
That has to be the problem. Yeah. And in fact, when I go to sign in with Google, when I go to the next page, it defaults to my main Zoom account. If I click on user, well, let's try ZTK, because that's a real. Oh no, it's. I can only use the my org's email address. That's the problem. So this is interesting, actually. So I have a number of, actually, all of my other accounts in my org do not have the same. We don't share the same business email.
You said this is interesting, but I think people are falling asleep. No, I don't know. Is anyone in? I don't know if we're boring everyone.
We can stop. I'm happy to stop with that.
You are not. I think there's just some buggy things to it that are like not quite ready for prime time.
Well, I think there's some bugginess, but I also think that some of this goes back to is Zoom consumer friendly or business friendly?
Right.
You know, all of this org stuff and managing your org and limiting who can access notes, that's great for businesses. It's not as great when you're either dealing with personal accounts or mixing business with personal.
Zoom treats every user, whether you're someone's mom or dad or a little baseball store, as an enterprise company. And so many people get frustrated because they have no idea about all this admin stuff and they don't understand why they can't change their settings because they don't understand about how to be an administrator of a Zoom system. And then they go to their personal account to do the things they want. It's definitely geared towards enterprise.
Absolutely.
And I've heard a lot of people complain about that. I'm sorry.
No, I was going to say, I do think like I had to do all kinds of like internal stuff as just a regular user in this account and not as an admin. So that's a heavy lift for the average person who doesn't really understand their Zoom, right? It's like even week to week things are in different places and I'm like, oh, well, it's more intuitive there, but I wouldn't have known to look for it.
Yeah, there's more changes coming in the next week. They're going to move things to places that will make more sense eventually, but if you were used to it being somewhere else, you're going to go, well, stop changing everything.
Well, I mean, like the spotlighting thing has moved into the viewer section, which is actually really intuitive, but not where it used to be. You know, not as easy to find.
So who's going to go out and get the new Elgato prompter? Really? Are you, Tamara? Really?
No,
Mike, you are too? Really?
So, can I speak to this? Because I actually, this is one of the two things this year that happened to come up just as I needed it. The first was Streamer X, which I have and I mostly love, but it served exactly the need that I needed it to do. And it happened at exactly the time I was like, I need a compact system that I can throw in a bag. And there it was, right? This also did that at exactly the right time too, because one, I have a teleprompter. I have a Glide Gear, which I hate because it's so bulky and so big. And because of where it sits, like I can touch it right here. It's literally right in front of me. It takes up more space than this one would. So the things that are downsides in terms of screen size and all of that, that does not concern me. It fits very well in my Elgato world, which is perfect. So I feel like if it's perfect for your setup, I like that it's a little bit smaller and more compact. I'm currently using my Glide Gear with an iPad, and I've used it in 2 or 3 different ways. And my next step would be to buy a $300 monitor for it. So this comes with everything. And so it just happens to come at exactly the right time. I know I looked at yours, Frank. I love yours, Frank, as well.
No, I knew this would come up, Frank.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, Ray. Yeah, this is not competition. I mean,
Yeah,
what
right.
you're offering is it's a whole system.
Right,
This
it's
is
a one
not,
piece,
yeah.
also, no
This
prompter.
is
It's got a sound in it.
right.
Right.
I mean, yours is on a completely different level than this is. This is for the hobbyist, if you will. But I think for a lot of people who won't be able to afford the real high quality that you're offering there, a $300 option is interesting. I at first really poo-pooed it, and now I'm kind of wishing I hadn't.
Does the bundle include the camera at that
No.
$300 price? No.
There are
No.
bundles
Tripod?
available though.
Right, but it's a little misleading because you don't have the camera, you
Yep,
don't
you're
have the
right.
tripod, and those are extra
Right,
things
so-
you have to do.
So you can, if you configure your, the default is you get the prompter for 280. You can then choose the telescope mount or the low profile arm. Then you can do the Facecam Pro or just a cam link if you have your own camera.
And you're up at $600.
Yeah,
Oh,
but if you already have a camera,
Right. So I have all that stuff. Like, that's why I'm saying this happened to be one of those things that just popped up at exactly the moment where I was like, what would be cooler is if my teleprompter were smaller, and it just like,
right.
so
I would
it's like
just be buying the prompter, and that would.
yeah, I would too. I have all, as a matter of fact, I have all the Elgato arms that it's going to sit on.
Right,
Like it's one of those weird things that in any other time I might have said no, except for the fact that it showed up at exactly the time I was like, I'm going to be putting $300 into making this prompter work, and that prompter already has it. Plus, I think when we first came up, David, you were like, someone said, does it use can you use other webcams? It perfectly fits with the Elgato webcam, which is great. I mean, I don't have that particular webcam, but they're making their ecosystem work together. But it also works with your iPhone. It has an adapter for your iPhone. It has and it has all the lenses for all of the common cameras. So I have a DSLR camera with that, with a good lens. And so for me, it popped up at exactly the time that I was ready to put money down on something. So they get my money. They do. It's just,
Did you order?
I didn't yet, but I
Because
was like,
it's out. Like you're not going to get it till the new year.
I definitely believe that to be true,
Yeah.
but I was like,
Yeah.
yes, I will get it for sure.
I
You're
want to
gonna see
review.
more. You're going to see more of them come out. This is the season where you're going to see things like this.
Oh, you mean
Especially
more
for the-
versions of this
more-
type of thing?
Yeah, more teleprompters.
Ah,
Everybody's going to go after it, especially after Zoomtopia, where everybody in Zoom, I mean, everybody in corporate Zoom fell in love with the Ivy.
Right.
But there's a lot of buzz about, well, we need a teleprompter. Most people will find it's too complicated. Doctors, lawyers, people that are business people who don't want to be bothered.
But if you have a Stream Deck, this is already integrated with it. It's, like for my setup here, I am so close to everything that literally I haven't switched out my lights. I'm using 2 Elgato key lights, Keylight Airs. I'm using 2 different Stream Decks. So for my system, happy to put another Elgato product in there, right? It's kind of like my Rode universe. So I know that the software is not great. I've heard that software is not, that hub isn't great. You can use other teleprompter software with it, but I don't use it for that. I use it for Zoom meetings to literally be able to use eye contact. So it's kind of perfect if you just have a small setup. Now, my glide gear, I'm not going to throw away because there's another spot in my setup where I'd like to put another camera that will have a little bit more depth. That's perfect for that. But for sitting on my desktop, it actually takes up so much space because it's so huge that I don't need. So
I have a glide gear.
that's what I, yeah.
And I have the Ozbot in it.
Yeah, I have a Sony A6400 in it. And it is I love my glide gear, but it is a challenge of gravity. I mean, it is at any given time, I feel like it's going to slip out of, like, I'm not 100% certain, no matter how much I tighten it, that it is.
so if any of you are looking for a mount that you don't have to worry about, the Manfrotto variable friction arm, that's what I have mine on. So I've got the same as the rest of you. I've got the glide gear with a 10-inch monitor and my DSLR all on one Manfrotto friction arm, variable friction arm, and it's been there in the same position for about 2 years, and it hasn't moved. And it's this friction arm is unbelievable.
I mean, I don't feel like the arm is an issue because I've got the whole Elgato system of
Now we're
potential
putting
arm
Frank to sleep.
possibilities.
Sorry.
I know, but
No,
like
don't kid it.
not our intention, Frank.
Not about, no, I'm actually quite interested.
But like, so I just feel like it's a weird balance issue. But again, like this is one that just came up as I was going, if I could just get this further off my desk, that would be great.
Mike, you have been
Yes,
too
sir.
quiet. I need
Yes,
to
I've
hear
been
from you.
patient.
Yes,
Everybody's
but-
been, yeah.
But before you do that, Ray, I'm passing you host, only because I have to leave in 5 minutes. Go ahead, Mike. Sorry.
Yeah, no. So my reasoning for this, for actually choosing the Elgato over any larger prompter again, is because the camera for me is that close. Now, again, once you get dangerously far away, again, the inches of the actual teleprompter viewing angle then become more important, right? So if you're going to be within hand's reach of your teleprompter, if not shortly there much more, again, you do not want to have anything larger than the Elgato teleprompter. So that,
Yeah, Mike,
is-
you're not
that
old,
was
you're
A.
not old enough yet, my friend. I'm so old. My teleprompter's arm's length in front of me. I can't see a damn thing. In
Well,
5 years, Mike. In
Crank
10
up the
years.
font would be the official answer to that question. Font bigger, baby. And I've made sure that I'm up to date with my subscriptions on my glasses too. But besides that, yeah. So definitely A. That is the big thing. B, of course, the Elgato teleprompter is not made for us. It is made for the gamers, right? That is, always remember this. Elgato is gamers. We are using gamer equipment if we're using Elgato equipment.
And streamers. It's really,
Correct.
this stuff is really big in the streamer world.
Yes, thus the reasoning that they only right now want Twitch to be on the teleprompter, not YouTube, or insert other content delivery network here, right? So A. B, yes, we, again, majority of us, if not all of us, will be using this for Zoom, 100%, without a doubt in your mind. I will be using it for Zoom 100% as well. That is for sure what's going to end up happening. But again, what I've been looking for too is I've been looking at the differences between actually having that iPad type teleprompter, which a lot of you guys are doing. But again, I would have had to get, if you start putting all the pieces together, so if you do get a teleprompter that is only strictly an iPad or a phone based teleprompter, A, you're paying for that. So there's a couple $100 there. Now you're talking a couple $100 for that dedicated phone or iPad that is sitting there being your teleprompter for free during that whole process. So that can range from, iPads are pretty up there in price. So now all of a sudden this unit, because of the fact that everything's in place, is great. Now the other thing too is that, again, now because of the fact that it's USB-C into your computer, and this is very important as well, your computer now recognizes it as a display. You do not need an HDMI out of the video card. You do not need any of these type of extra equipment above and beyond that to make sure that, example would be coming out of the ATEM, that you're actually making sure that you now have an extreme ATEM where you have your HDMI going out for multi-view and your second output being for the teleprompter, as an example, right? You
And
don't
we
need
solved
that now.
Yeah, and we solved that with this. This is one cable from whatever computer you're using. And Guy Cochran this weekend or last weekend was able to get his new iPad in, and it was able to see it. So he can run his iPad with the Ivy instead of this Nook that we have. But it's one cable from the iPad to the Ivy system. Mic, sound, everything is all controlled.
That's
Yeah,
cool.
I think
Right.
the lack of cable was also the thing that was the big win for me, because I was like, I can't recable everything as 5
Now,
seconds.
Tamara, your camera has been adjusting focus the whole
It
time
has,
today.
and I'll tell you why.
I thought the
because
Sony was better at that.
So it is. So I took my camera on vacation earlier in the summer, and when I put it back, some setting is off. But here's the other reason why the Elgato is appealing to me right now. One of the reasons that I haven't fixed it is because getting it on and off the glide gear, it's like a whole day. It's a whole thing that has just made it like I'm willing to be blurry on screen because it's such an ordeal and that was one of the things when I look at the Elgato, everybody who's reviewing it, I'm like, it just seems like it's so much easier and, dumb and stupid. And that makes me excited to add it. The other thing too, is that I often, I want to test something like that because for me, I'm often trying to get people in my community to upgrade. And that's a price point that will work for most people, and that is not going to be the complicated stuff that some of the real gear is, because the truth of the matter is, like, not everybody's going to sit down and do what we do, which is spend hours and hours going, let me try it this way and let me do that. So, I was sold by their
I agree with, because again, all the influencers that I've been seeing that actually released it early. So this came out Tuesday is the official date that this officially came out, because everybody was locked down as far as influencers are concerned. But some of the influencers have been playing with this for a few months now. So basically, and of course, setting feedback back to Elgato, and they're eating up the feedback like crazy. So basically, the biggest thing for me definitely was the selling feature, as Tamara was saying, was the fact of the USB-C. I didn't have to do some funky wiring. The studio's already pretty wired, doing all kinds of weird and wonderful things as it is. All I needed was to now have another breakout box where I had to break out a certain feed to go do the teleprompter as well. And Ray is right. The all-in-one kit is very much as well very interesting, and there is definitely a market for that, especially because of the cleanness of it and everything built into it. It's very compact and such. So there's definitely a market for the IV as well. So again, it's all because again, too, the IV also has a built-in camera, which is a big deal too. So now you don't have to worry about having a camera. There's
and
a camera
and a sound system.
Right. And so again, it's got the mic, speakers, and everything's already built into it. So again, for the semi-pros and the broadcast guys, all of us that have all the pro gear already, the Elgato teleprompter for my setup, just like similar to Tamara's setup, is more of, I just need that teleprompter in between my two screens right now, so that I can actually look straight at you guys as I'm talking 100% of the time, instead of peering off left or right to me, just because of my setup too. And again, with the gamers out there too, a lot of Elgato guys are promoting to put it at the top of the monitor. I'm not thrilled with that. I'd like it more at the head level, so again, that's just the camera guy in me. But when it comes to the other thing that was a big selling feature for me too, is depending on the camera that I use, depends on the mount that I can actually have as well. Because again, you guys having the glide models that you guys have the capability of actually having the camera on a bit of a stand where it's draped over, correct? That's the model,
Yes.
Tamara? Yeah.
But it is a pain. I agree with Tamara. It is a pain to switch out the cameras. You almost don't want to do it because you don't want to have to put it back.
No,
Right.
and you don't. And then every time you go to move anything, like it's not stable at the moment. The other thing too is that it gives you, if your camera's not, which mine isn't, I can see that on the edges, I'm getting kind of vignetting around the sides. So I love it. And I think I won't get rid of it because it does fold up compact in its little bag, so it can stay. But I would love to get it off my desktop. And Ray, I love your device. And if I didn't throw money into my setup, I would be like, yeah, definitely. And there are definitely people that I'm going to ship to that and be like, get this, it will help you.
But just check it out on myivi.com.
Yep.
And get on the list.
Awesome.
myivi.com. David had to leave early. I have to leave at 5, so we're going to pull the plug then. What are the key things we want to cover? This has been very interesting, regardless of what Frank says. And I know that Frank is, chomping at the bit for next week to say, I could have told you so.
Exactly.
I'd love to discuss it right now, but I can't.
If I turn off YouTube,
I guess.
Goodbye, YouTube.
hey,
now, we
guys,
don't want to get Frank into trouble now.
no.
Frank,
This is always a good event, and we have such a broad use of people that it makes it very interesting. Those who don't join us regularly, you can do so either on YouTube or come join us here. I did see that Robert Sababade, who survived a very difficult 4-hour gig yesterday, is watching from Prague, but he's watching on YouTube. Any passing thoughts as people wrap this up today? Who wants to go first? Anybody, jump in. Or we're gonna. I can pull the plug now.
no, I was just going to say, yeah, definitely the Elgato teleprompter, as far as I understand, should be coming out in December. That's what they're saying on their website right now currently.
Well, I'd love to hear a review from someone I know. So if you guys get them, let's hear
Yep.
about it.
Let you know.
Yeah. It
Yeah.
looks like they've done a good job. There's no doubt about it. It's got a place, and I liked it when I saw it. It doesn't happen. I don't need to change what I have. I use the Ivy, and it's very convenient. Plus, I'm able to get the sound and everything all included. So
Right.
it eliminates a lot of clutter on my desk. Well, seeing that nobody wants to jump in, Tamara, everybody, thank you very much for a good Zoom test kitchen. And I think we'll find each of you here next Friday at 3:00 Eastern. Thank you very much. Have a good weekend.
You too.
Thank you.
Have a good weekend.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.